behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Well, hello everybody. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up shortly. Don't forget about the subscribe buttons and the bell buttons below you there. And anytime you do that, you'll always be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment on the comment section if you like. We'd love to hear from you there. And check out the description because there's contact info there. And contact info will also be repeated at the closing credits at the end of this program. So stay tuned for that. From Tacoma, Washington today, we have Meghanne Story and Raymond Hayden. A couple great artists I know you're going to love. And we'll get to that in a second. But first, here's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this. Okay, we're back, and with us from Tacoma, Washington, we have Meghanne Story and Raymond Hayden with us. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, we're happy to be here. Just make sure that check's in the mail.
Well, I heard that. And some of you may or may not know this, but some of the artists we've been interviewing lately is because of them, and we want to thank you for recommending those artists to us, guys.
Hey, it's our pleasure. We, I mean, shoot, Meghanne and I are, I mean, it's funny because she's just finished band rehearsal, and we're just collaborators, but we both like to support all the other artists out there. So shine a spotlight on the Pacific Northwest. Boom!
Beautiful place.
Okay. Well, the first question I always ask is tell us a little bit about how you got started, because, you know, everyone has their own story. Let's hear your story about how you decided you wanted to be an artist.
Go ahead, Ray.
Ladies first.
I was born this way.
Crazy?
I was born this way. I've always made noise. My mom says I could sing before I could talk. And I was in the Seattle Girls Choir when I was little, and I grew up and I kept singing, and I don't be quiet. And so now I sing on stages and people have to listen to me. It's great. But they don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Well, trust me, Paul. She's not kidding. There's no shutting her up. I mean, it's like if there's a song to sing, this girl's singing it. You're like, hey, Meghanne, how are you doing today? I'm beautiful.
It's a beautiful day.
Well, I mean, Meghanne, I mean, come on, elaborate more for this gentleman. I mean, did you sing first, play piano, play guitar? What'd you do? Kazoo, harmonica?
Okay, I sang. The first thing I ever learned was the Jesus Christ Superstar soundtrack. I was 3. I had it memorized completely. And then I learned how to play. I started learning the piano when I was tall enough to be able to sit at the bench and reach the keys at the same time. And I started learning piano. And then I finally got a guitar out from underneath one of my brothers, and I played that for a long time. And then eventually somebody gave me some more strings. So it wasn't only 3 strings that I was playing. And then as I got older, I lived actually in downtown Seattle, and I was homeless as a teenager. And I did a bunch of music projects through a program called Youth Care. And I did this Everybody Has a Song thing where we went into the studio, and I learned how to do mixing and mastering and record a song and write a song in the studio and write with other people. And that was really cool. And we did a music video, and we did like a Channel 9 special. And then I sang for a bunch of fundraisers, and I did a couple of like baseball games for the Rainiers and for the Mariners. I sang the national anthem a few times. And then I grew up and had kids and hid in my garage for a long time and wrote songs in my garage until I met this guy who was like, you have to be on stages. So then I got on stages, and I was really afraid of stage fright. Was a thing for me for a while. So I had to get over that. So now it's been 3 years and I'm good.
The best sounding guitar I've heard you.
Oh, okay. Well, what about you, Hayden?
Well, see, Meghanne, you had more than just you were born that way. I mean, it's true you were born that way, but mine is, so when I grew up, I was playing baseball, and about 9 years old, our parents basically told us, "Hey, tell those guys to be quiet. What are they doing back there?
They're talking.
Are they drinking?"
No, I moved him over to the front of the yard.
There you go. So we had to make a choice between just one activity, and so and it just so happened at that time a band guy came into our classroom, and fast forwarding, I became a trumpet player, French horn player. Was on tour buses at the age of 9 with drum and bugle corps all over the country. And then when I was 18, I joined the military, Army, and I was stationed over in Germany. And I'm again, another long story, but I met a guy, and we ended up connecting, and somebody was selling a keyboard, and I said, what the hell, I got 4 years left in the Army, I might as well buy this keyboard and learn how to play keyboard. And then we ended up, that band was Ambition, and we ended up playing all over Germany and France and all over the place. And that's where I got my start as a rock keyboard player. And then many bands and albums and songs and EPs later, just throughout the years, played rock keyboards, pop keyboards, cover bands, originals, you name it. Just really want to be involved in music, is, any way I could. And playing piano and singing and being parts of bands has always been great. One of the biggest things that has always been important to me is collaboration, whether it's with photographers or venues or other artists. That's been huge, because a lot of artists, a lot of people in general, not just artists, end up getting egos and are afraid to open their ears and minds up to what other people have to say. And most artists aren't. I mean, the music industry was built on collaboration completely. It always has been. And we learn so much from each other. I mean, just the short time that Meghanne and I have worked together, 8 months, I've learned a ton. It's affected my piano playing. It's affected my songwriting, etc. So yeah, that's kind of in a snippet, trumpet, French horn to keyboards, and here we are today.
Well, that's a great story, you guys. Hope you'll keep collaborating for a long time there. Well, what would you say some of your influences are, as far as influences? I mean, I'm sure some of the legends come to mind.
Well, I'll start this time because you started last time. I'm inspired by Meghanne's story.
Yeah.
Mine are simple. I mean, the list of bands, whether they're big ones or small ones, is too long to tell you how, everything from Supertramp to the Eagles, you name it. But the ones that jump out at me, I'd say that probably the top 3 would be Elton John, Chicago, and Pink Floyd. For various, all for various different reasons. Elton John more as a piano player, Chicago more as a dynamic orchestration arrangement area. Having all the music is a variations on a theme, and Chicago does a great job of that with their horns and all that. And then Pink Floyd for the overall feel and vibe, and that's why I love collaborating with Meghanne, because Meghanne is not Syd Barrett or David Gilmour, but she writes eloquent, beautiful lyrics that touch on the obscure, but make you really think and get outside of your head. And so, yeah, those are my 3.
Okay, those are good bands there. I love all those bands. Well, what about you, Meghanne?
Funny, I am a big Elton John fan, and definitely Pink Floyd is a huge influence for me. But my third one would be Natalie Merchant.
Yeah, she's pretty good as well.
Definitely, those would be my 3. There's a lot of different influences. There's like, I always take something from everybody. I learn in like every situation that I go into, I learn from. And so like, there's a lot of, any musical composition that you listen to, there's differences, there's different timings, there's different phrasing, there's different ways of, putting your notes out there. There's different notes that you can choose to, tell your story, however you want to do it. And so like, when I listen to other people's music, I always try to like, what are they doing? How are they doing this? What is their formula? How can I adapt mine to be cooler or whatever, that kind of thing.
All right, well, that's good. We can get all your stuff on streaming, and so we can find you on social media, and you have an official website and so forth. Why don't you tell us a little bit about all that?
Social media?
Yeah.
Where you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. I'm all about the YouTube subscribers, so subscribe to the YouTube page. That would be awesome. Ray has a couple of different pages as well. I have a Twitter page, but I always forget about it until I get into a situation like this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have Twitter, but I would not look me up on that because you'll find old news.
Oh yeah, and like Megan said, we both. I mean, if you look up, Megan's story, and her name is spelled different than most Megans. It's MEG. Well, you can see it on the screen, but Meghanne, and then story STUREY. She's got a few pages up on like her YouTube, and we don't have anything. We don't have anything together. Funny enough, because we're not a project. We're I mean, there's bands, there's duos, because like you interviewed Champagne Sunday the other day, who are friends of ours, and they're a band. They're Champagne Sunday. They're a duo, right? We're not. We're collaborators. We just happened to, earlier this year, we were at the Independent Music Awards, and both of us were honored with an award. And soon after that, we just started talking, and I don't know what Megan thought, but I thought, okay, cool. We're gonna, we talked about collaborating with it. We're gonna do, I will do one song, maybe two songs, and then I think the first time we talked for 2 hours, and just found out a lot about each other and connected and still connect and just kept writing and writing and writing. And so we're writers, we're collaborators. We don't have the social media stuff. Paul is separate. Is Raymond Hayden here, Meghanne there, and we may eventually do something together so it makes it simpler, because we're putting out. I mean, we've put out Lemons, we put out Why. We're putting out our newest single, Amen, September 27th. October, we're going to put out a Queensryche cover that was written by Chris DeGarmo of Silent Lucidity. And then right after that, we have two more singles coming out, Velvet, Carousel, and Moon. So right now you just have to find us separately, but if it keeps going this way, I'm sure we'll probably do something with central, either a website or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, check them out on all streaming platforms and all social media platforms. Well, most of them anyway. And I know that we'll love you for that. So we're getting ready to watch this video in just a second. It's called Lemons. It sounds self-explanatory, but tell us a little bit about that.
Go ahead, Ray.
Meghanne. Oh no, you're not going to do that. You're the lyricist. Lemons is. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll get. You're a funny girl. I'll get you. Good thing you're there. She's a funny girl, Paul. She's coming to a comedy club near you.
I got all night.
Exactly. No, so I'll set it up and then you spike it, okay? Be like volleyball players here. That's volleyball metaphor here. So when Megan and I were talking, we talk, and we talk probably every day, and our families are intertwined now. But when we first started talking, and she was telling me about how she was homeless at 14. And then I shared some of my stories, some of my struggles growing up weren't as extreme as that, but definitely some family struggles and this and that. And we both realized really quickly that we were talking about how cool it was. We really thought it was cool and admired this and respected this about each other, that we had overcome this stuff and really made something of all these challenges and obstacles that hit us. And then I sat down and wrote some piano music, and just I don't know why the name came up, but I heard it kind of popped up in my head, Lemons. And so I said, here you go, Meghanne, here's our first collaboration if you like it. And I got a working title. You don't have to keep this, but she did. And now Meghanne can tell you what the song's about.
It's about all of us kids when we were growing up. We had to take our crappy situations and learn how to make the best out of it, and we did. And that's what that song is about, really. Taking a crap situation and making the best out of it.
And we, Meghanne and I share a similar muse, in that is wanting to make a difference, not only in our fellow artists, because as you know, I think I've referred maybe 40 artists to you, right, to look at, but is that our music touches people and makes a difference. And hopefully, like Meghanne was saying, hopefully people will hear that song in particular and realize that, choices, right?
Yes, it's all about the choices.
All
make
about
a change. Make a change. Sometimes
change
is good.
I told you, Paul. She sings. If I had to say right now, if I were to say rabbit, go, Meghanne.
What about a rabbit? There's all kinds of rabbits. Rabbits are cute little fuzzy little creatures, and they bounce around, and they got little cottontail buds. And
see, she's not singing; she's rapping lyrics. So anyway.
Yep.
All right.
Cotton chocolates and what? They're not chocolate.
True.
And they should be.
True. We just, as you can tell, although the narratives of our songs are actually very serious and very contemplative and all that, but we're just two cartoon. We have a lot of fun working together. And you got to be able to have fun.
Okay. Well, this is a great song, as I said, and I know you're out there going to love it too. And we'll get to that in a second. But Meghanne and Raymond, we thank you so much for being on the show. Come back anytime you want to plug something new. We'll have you back on sometime.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you having us, Paul. Appreciate you reaching out and also interviewing all these other artists that surround us. It's a beautiful thing you're doing, man.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate that. And without further ado, here's Lemons by Meghanne and Raymond, and it begins right now.
Lost in the maze of those big city streets, left alone outside, no place to sleep, broken, busted, and bruised, in no way can be used. Take those lessons from the past, and please forget those things not meant to last. Hold tight to the laughter, look forward to the after. Don't hold on to the pain. Make lemonade, take down your fences, fill up your senses. Take all those lemons and make lemonade. Tight grip on the thing you started, though it leaves you broken hearted. You will rise through what remains. The sun will shine another rainy day. Hold tight to the laughter, look forward to the after. Don't hold on to the pain. Make lemonade, take down your fences, fill up your senses. Take all those lemons and make lemonade. Life is full of heartache, you can't escape. You have to learn